Emma, my first question is for you. Obviously, there's the way the viewer is going to experience this. They will hear women's voices on the broadcast for the whole time. But for you, you guys are putting on a television production. You're getting the call to the big leagues. What does it mean to you to be able to have someone like Amy Kaplan in your ear too? And just how big of a factor is that for kind of establishing a comfort level for you?
It's great. Just having my debut last season and having Amy there was really like a kind of a sense of comfort almost. It was funny when my partner and I, Riley, went back to Portland after our debut last year. We were actually saying like Amyisms to kind of calm us down a little bit in certain moments. So to kind of have her veteran presence there is phenomenal, and then to be able to look over and converse with Alanna is going to really showcase how far women have come in their time in the industry and how much more we can do. So it's going to be really special tomorrow night to have them all involved.
Aside from the stakes, what are the biggest differences for you when you come up to this level? Like in purely just from the television production angle, just how much more involved is it?
I mean, this could go on for an hour of listing all the differences. But I mean, to give you an idea, our TV production in Portland has two people. We have a director, we
Sure.
have a replay person. We don't really have graphics that I can call for because in my ear is actually our radio producer because we simulcast on the radio. So I actually don't really have any contact with our MLB TV side of things. It's just when I'm talking about stuff, I look on the monitor, replay pops up, and I can talk about that while also describing it for the radio audience. So just having the access to just the different angles of everything, and then not to mention the stats. I'll never forget last season just having somebody in my ear just telling me these stats that I have no idea how they can get so quickly, but here they are and they're right at my fingertips. So just being able to kind of access all of those things in one place is something I think it'll take me a little while to get used to, more than two games for sure. But just kind of standing back in awe of the production as a whole is something that I'll definitely be doing at one point tomorrow night.
Open-ended question to either of you, both of you. Just kind of wondering, what kind of a message do you hope this sort of all-female broadcast sends to little girls out there in the world? And I'm most especially interested if either of you have little girls in your life, daughters, nieces, etc.
Go ahead, Emma.
Yeah, I think that the message it sends is that we can do this. And we've been doing it for a long time. And I think that, we're finally able to put women in these positions to showcase talents, showcase the hard work that goes into it. I do have a wild 17-month-old daughter at home that has been to more ball games by the age of 1 than most people have, I think, in their entire lives. And so just to have her around the ballpark and to see that she could be in the booth one day if she chose, or she could be a coach on the field, or she could sell tickets and work in the front office of a ballpark one day, or she could hate sports and want to be a pianist. I would be happy with anything. But I think in the broader scope of beyond sports, it just shows that if you have a passion for something and you work your butt off to go chase it, then you should have the opportunity to achieve those dreams one day, whether you're wanting to call a game at Fenway or if you want to, play in Carnegie Hall one day.
I mean, just to go along with what Emma was saying, I just think it's important for people to know that, it would be great if gender wasn't even an issue. I mean, we're having this conversation right now and doing these interviews because it's an all-female broadcast. But if you look at the resumes, I mean, we've been doing this for decades in terms of covering sports. And while it is unique because of our gender, the day that we do the game tomorrow, the second the first pitch is thrown and Emma calls the first pitch, we're off and running. And it's like no different than any other day of what we've done at the ballpark. So an opportunity exists if you want to go after it. I think the linear thing, we've all worked really, really hard. And, it'd be nice if people did. It's because, they're women. I mean, there's not many play-by-play guys in Major League Baseball that have played the game. So, that conversation of, oh, well, she never played. Well, most of the men didn't either, as far as play-by-play is concerned. So, excited about the opportunity, but honestly, it's just another day at the office for us.
I actually was going to ask along those lines, for both of you, Emma first, how does your preparation change going from last year when you were in the booth, but only solo with Riley for a few innings versus the whole 9 innings? Like, how many more hours are we talking of prep? Are you getting there a little bit earlier? Like, how does it change for you when you're kind of taking it on solo or, taking the lead like that?
Honestly, I didn't change anything from last year. I prepped last year as if Dave would have gotten sick and we would have had to do the whole 9 innings. So I just kind of prepped as if I would with any game last season. So this year, I've been trying to get to the ballpark early all the last couple of weeks just to get some extra couple of hours of quiet. Like I mentioned, I do have a toddler at home, so it's kind of difficult. And so trying to do that, and then obviously working in minor league baseball, tarp pulls pull up or pop up, and we have to head out to the field, and that kind of stuff pops up. But I mean, I can't even think of the amount of hours to prepare. But I do have my usual Google Docs sheet going with a little information on every single player on both sides, and then general information for both orgs, and then a Sea Dogs kind of breakdown as well, just in case we get talking minor league baseball as well. So it's really just constant research, constant, got a podcast going in the background or watching some stuff from MLB Network, just so I'm prepared as much as I can be for tomorrow night.
But I am curious on what you think baseball or sports media, like what is the one thing that you would say they could change to better support the pipeline so that this doesn't become such an anomaly?
Alanna, do you want to go first?
Sure. I think, I was part of the first ever all-female broadcast in Major League Baseball ever. And that was in July of 2021. It was when I was with MLB Network, and it was also broadcast on YouTube television. So it was the Baltimore Orioles, it was the Tampa Bay Rays. Melanie Newman was play-by-play. Sarah Langs was color. I was the sideline reporter, and then pre and post was hosted by Heidi Watney and Lauren Gardner. So it has been done before, obviously never for NESN, but it got a lot of notoriety. I mean, it really garnered an unbelievable amount of attention. The NBC Evening News with Lester Holt interviewed us. We were on the Today Show in the morning. I mean, it was crazy the amount of attention. But I do think that, again, if you took the five of us, rather, excuse me, and put our resumes together, I think it's pretty impressive of, the amount of baseball that we've covered. And, Emma knows what she's doing. She's been doing play-by-play for a long time. I have no hesitation at all that she's going to do an amazing job. I think it is just, opening up opportunities in the minor leagues for women to be able to get into it. I think there's a lot more now, a lot more women in the play-by-play roles and obviously coaching roles and those types of things, strength and conditioning. And all of those different avenues, certainly more than when I started this 20 years ago. But the opportunity I almost wish that you could be interviewed not doing it in person or not doing it with a name, right? Mm-hmm. Just based on qualifications, take the name out of it, take the face out of it, almost like that game show where they just hear the person singing and they share instead of seeing what they look like. I think we're getting there little by little. We are getting there. I just can't wait to the day where it's like, oh, we're just doing a broadcast. It's not, a big deal because it's an all-female broadcast.
Yeah, I agree. I think, talking about like the pipeline thing, I think you have to start at the collegiate level, even just showing that, hey, let's get your feet wet, call some baseball games at whatever college you're at, or find a high school field to call games at. And then, jump right into the minor leagues. Right now, it's only Riley Pay and I who are the female play-by-play broadcasters across all levels of minor league baseball, which is mind-boggling. But I think it is important to do these types of things just to showcase that women can do it, and that we are accessible and are happy whenever young girls reach out and have interest. I'm really happy to show kiddos around the booth in Portland and show them, hey, this is what the headset sounds like. This is how we can involve you a little bit more. So I think it's just being open and honest about what the industry is like, and being open about how fun it is, and then showcasing when these things happen, but also at the same time recognizing that eventually this should really not be the story anymore. It should just be a normal baseball game on a Tuesday night.
All right, Emma, good afternoon.
Hey, Travis.
You touched on it already that this is your second time going back to Fenway to do this. What did you learn from the experience last year that you want to put into practice this time around?
Well, that's a good question. I wouldn't expect anything less. I think just utilizing all the resources that are around me. I think that, looking at the monitor a little bit more and not being kind of not caught in the headlights a little bit, but having that moment of, oh my gosh, they have so much more than we do in Portland. This year, it's just kind of, I'm not going to say it's going to be a sense of ease, but a little bit of, there's only one game that day. We're not doing the second game of a doubleheader, and being able to kind of have the lay of the land a little bit will be a little bit different as well. And then, yeah, I think just leaning more on a TV style broadcast than radio, and being more cognizant of that, just because in Portland, I'm so used to calling a radio game. I think just kind of focusing this year on the game, and then including Alanna as well, and just seeing where everything takes us.
This is a question for Emma. Emma, I'm wondering if after your game at Fenway last year, if you heard any feedback from fans, Red Sox fans, Sea Dogs fans, what you heard from them, and what that meant to you.
Yeah, I still hear from them. I've heard from them all season long, asking me if I was coming back to Fenway this year, and if Riley was going to come over from Tacoma, and if we were going to be reunited. Yeah, Sea Dogs fans especially are still talking about it. They had the watch party last year, and I honestly heard it was all positive. I think that in Portland, it's a really special market. It's a very dedicated market because they are Red Sox fans. So, they were really, really supportive of it. We have people who listen to the radio broadcast while they're in the ballpark watching the game. And so they're, just so loyal, and we feel like we know each other. And we have for 5 years, they've been listening. And so just to hear feedback from the Sea Dogs fans has been phenomenal. My front office staff as well. And then everyone on social media, I did let it breathe for a couple of days, because you never know what you're going to find on the lovely worldwide internet. But it was so much positive feedback. I was even kind of surprised, because, the internet can be a pretty negative place, but it was pretty positive for everything, and really supportive. And there was a lot of, it's about time kind of comments, which I thought was really, really cool.